from each happily ever after, every wish upon a star. Let's break down the movies that shaped who we are, from memory lane to now and everything in between. The most famous of films to the ones we've never seen. Decade by decade, all the times we laughed and cried, and with a little pixie dust, they will all take flight, reliving the feelings, and we're trying our very best. And if they mean the same to you, please be our guest. So hop aboard, we would love to have you as we hang with a certain mouth, the whole gang too. If you love nostalgia stuff, we hope this does the trick. Thanks for joining us as we deep dive the magic.
Hi, and welcome back to the Deep Diving the Magic podcast. I'm KJ.
And I am Jeffrey, and we are back today with the 128th Disney feature-length film from the date of December the 17th, 1976. If that sounds familiar, because that's when our last film also came out. And it is a film called Freaky Friday. That's right, the original Freaky Friday. Yes, there's a remake many years later, but we'll get there. We'll get there in a while.
And then again later.
We'll get there for that even later
And
on.
again later.
So yeah,
Pretty freaky, huh?
we will be getting to those later. But yeah, so Freaky Friday is the final film of the year 1976. It also is the return of Jodie Foster with a lot of other famous actors and actresses. It is based on the 1972 book of the same name by Mary Rogers. And would you like to start us off with a synopsis of the final film of 1976, Freaky Friday?
A mother and daughter find their personalities switched and have to live each other's lives on one strange Friday.
It was a strange Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts? Have you seen this one before?
I had not seen this one before, and then when we were looking it up, I did not realize there was also one in 1995.
We'll get there.
And then
No, the one in yeah.
Yeah, there was one in 95, and then there was one in 2003. And I've
and
seen
the
the one
new
from
one.
2003, but I've never seen the 95 one either.
Ever watched them all?
Congratulations.
We'll compare. At least this one has Jodie Foster in it, so she's the
True.
list. But I think that this is the most bonkers film that we've watched.
Yeah? In a good way or bad way?
No, but we'll get there.
No, you didn't like. Okay, so
What are your thoughts?
I mean, it was
I
out
didn't want to
there.
take notes for this.
It was out there, but I mean, it wasn't bad, I didn't think.
Yeah.
I
Do you
mean,
have any trivias?
I guess I like to. I don't know. I do have trivia, so let me see. It is the 93rd live action film produced by Disney. I found a tidbit that you would probably find interesting that for the life of me, when I thought of it, I could not figure out. But then I was like, well, I guess if that makes sense. Jodie Foster was actually offered the role of Princess Leia.
I told you that.
I did not remember that. And it was around the same time that this was being filmed, but I guess at that point George Lucas wanted to make the character younger than she was, and to me that just doesn't make sense with
So the last movie the last movie that Jodie Foster was in, I said that she chose a Disney movie
Yeah.
over being Princess Leia.
Well, she didn't technically. She had already started this one, and her mother was like, "No, you're gonna finish it out." So she finished it out. And the opening credits is a song, "I'd Like to Be You for a Day," and it's actually sung by the lady and daughter of the movie. So Jodie and Barbara.
There you go.
Well,
All right, are we diving right in
sure.
to this nonsense? All right, so there's no like you mentioned, there's an animated opening credits with a fun original song about wanting to be the other person for a day.
Mm-hmm.
We start off with a girl commenting about her morning, and it's on Friday the 13th. We start to meet her family. Her brother's name is Ben. He's the little brother. it then cuts to her trying to figure out what she's going to do that day. It cuts to her playing field hockey, cuts to her water skiing. It cuts to her thinking about the boy across the street that she has a crush on. He has some weird name. I don't remember what his name is.
Boris.
Boris. Um, um, she admits that she has not been hitting it off with her parents lately. Her father, who's played by the dude who plays um, Gomez Adams from the Adams Family, and obviously the mother is,
Was it?
yeah,
Really?
from like the TV show.
Okay.
Um, and then the mother, whatever her name is. So whatever, they haven't seen anything eye to eye. She like loves her father, but her and her mother just don't. They just don't get it on. So she decides that she's not going to eat breakfast with her family. She's going to go meet her friends before school, like she always does. And while she's there, she's complaining about her mother. Anything?
No, they're just fussing.
So at the same time, the mother's also fussing about the daughter and just all the things that she has to do. And the father's like, "Well, I have this big meeting later where there's water skis added, and I have to entertain all these people, whatever." And the brother's just like, "I'm a kid." But so
Kid.
while daughter is at the ice cream shop getting breakfast, and the mother's at home.
I think it was an ice cream shop. I think it was like a.
I don't know. She was eating ice cream.
She was eating ice cream, but everybody else wasn't. I think it was just like a diner.
Okay. So then at the same time, they both say, "I wish I could switch places with her for just one day." And then boom, a bunch of effects come and something really freaky
Very
happens.
interesting effects.
Want to talk about them?
Very freaky effects.
It's 1976.
Yeah. So basically, you see a split screen, and you see the two of them at the same time, kind of like you do in this little gadget of a thing, and um, you see a picture of them, but then you see their shadow, and it keeps like flashing them, the shadow, in bright colors is the
Mhm.
shadow, and then the transformation happens. Okay.
So they're both in shock because now they are the other person and they're trying to figure it out. So like the prim proper snooty-esque mother is in the daughter, whose name is Annabelle, and Annabelle, the wild child, is in her mother's body, who I don't know what her name is. I just call her mother. Did you write down her name?
Mm,
Cindy, maybe? I don't know. Whatever.
I wrote it down somewhere.
Whatever.
Ellen. Her
Ellen.
name's
Okay.
Ellen.
So Annabelle and Ellen. So Annabelle runs over to call home, but then she ends up mistakenly calling her father by his first name because really it's her husband, and everybody's confused. Um, the the mother is rocking out, dancing, clearly having a better time than her counterpart.
hmm
Um, the daughter decides that she's going to tell her friends, but they all laugh it off, like, "Okay, we will all act like our mothers today." Um, I'm gonna jump around a bunch because this film jumped around a bunch. Like, there's no timeline; it's just nuts.
Yeah, it's
Um,
back and forth a lot.
so it then cuts to the mother who's having a hard time with her son,
hmm
who's actually her younger brother, and she keeps mistakenly calling her husband daddy. He kind of likes it. Um, and then she takes off on a skateboard with ease, much to her husband's slash father's confusion. Um, the mom, she has a bunch of things she has to do that day, like pick up the kid from school, get ready for this big party later. Carpets are getting cleaned, blah 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 blah. And at the same time,
Fixed.
the daughter has a bunch of things going on too, like her braces are getting taken off,
But she doesn't know it yet.
um, field hockey, like a bunch of things. So,
She just thinks she has a regular orthodontist appointment. She
yeah.
has no idea that they're actually coming off.
The mom ends up putting on funky makeup while the daughter is having a hard time on the bus, right?
Yeah.
Um, there's a bunch of shenanigans with the washing machine and things at home, like the washing machine is all
Oracle
overflowing
just in her mom's body stuffs the washing machine
with shoes.
way too much. She's got shirts in there. She's got rugs in there. She tossed some shoes in there. Apparently a bag of Jacks.
Yeah.
And then a ton of dishwashing soap powder. And then started the thing.
So then
And then it came alive on her, she thought.
the husband calls at the same time. He's very confused, but he's like, we're hosting a party later. You got to cook for it." Cuts to the school. There's a bunch of hijinks going on there. Things at home are becoming very, very stressful because like people are coming over to like clean the rug, and then the guy for the car, and everyone needs money, and the maid who's stealing their alcohol. It's just this
Hmm.
wildness. But
But when she answered the phone, she answered it in the kitchen. She said, "Hang on, it's too loud. I have to answer it in the hall." So then she ran down to the hall, and then she was like, "Wait, hang on. I have to go hang it up in the kitchen." And I thought, wow, something that today's generation would never understand.
she pretends to be like the operator. It's
Yeah.
a thing. Um, Things at school aren't much better. Like for instance, the daughter walks in, doesn't know where her first period is. She walks in and like ruins the dark room in photography class.
She turns the light, she opens the door to bright light and then just turns the light off.
Hmm But then she also like answers a bunch of questions about the Cold War because she was actually like a
Korean.
Korean War because she was actually like alive during it. So it started this like whole like how is she so smart type
Yeah.
thing. So it's just everyone's confused. Everybody is it's just nonsense. The father is stressed about this big job opportunity he has, including this water skiing show that he has,
Hmm.
because his daughter's a fantastic water skier. So he has like
And she's on a team.
she has like this he has like this like entire like water ski Broadway thing going on for the people. And so um the mother's like, I need some help. So she's like, oh, I have a crush on the kid next door because really it's she thinks that she's the daughter. So she calls the boy next door with his name Boris to flirt with. So basically, she's flirting with a daughter's crush. This film is getting very convoluted. Um, it's time for the field hockey game. There's a bunch of shenanigans. The daughter almost quits the game, but then she ends up not quitting, but she ends up scoring in her own goal, making them lose the game, right? Um, the mom picks up the son from school, but she won't drive, so she walks there. They're walking back. They end up playing baseball together. The mom does really awesome in baseball. She ends up being able to connect with the son, and then the son talks about how much he loves his sister. So like it's like a nice scene for that.
Hmm.
Whatever. There's a whole lot going on. Um, the daughter ends up going to her father's office to get money, basically to like borrow his credit card after getting her braces off. But then because really she's the mom in a different person's body, she ends up like becoming jealous of the secretary. Because it's like this young secretary, but then like she like talks about how scary the her
The mother.
father's her father's wife is, her mother. So then the secretary ends up like putting her she like oh my God, what is it? Is it like Never Been Kissed or whatever, where like she like takes the glasses off and then she becomes like pretty or whatever?
Oh yeah, she does the
She does like the
opposite thing.
opposite of that. Like she puts glasses on, puts her hair in a ponytail, and
But
like
she, what she looked like, the way she put her hair up and the glasses she put on, she kind of like gave vibes of like Granny Clampett, or like another one of the moms that we
she
saw.
put on like a
What was
rain
the
jacket.
movie with the black sheep, Daniel? Daniel.
Um,
It reminded me of the
yeah.
mom in that one,
Oh my gosh, what is it
like her
called?
style.
What is it called?
Wasn't it Walt's favorite movie?
Yeah, it's like Sweet Home something. Talk about this film. I'm gonna look it up.
Um. Anyway, so she does the complete opposite of looking
So dear
for
to my
the.
heart.
I mean,
Nailed it. Didn't even have to look it up. Sorry, go ahead. Keep going.
sweet home.
So dear to my heart.
So anyway, yeah, so she starts putting on these glasses and taking notes of the things that he wants her to do. And she's walking back out of the office, but these glasses are obviously not meant for her because they're like really thick glasses and she can't see out of them. So she like feels her way out of the office. And that was pretty humorous.
Mhm. All right, back to the craziness of this film. The mother ends up having to cook food because the caterers fell through. So she's trying to cook, but she has no idea what she's doing,
Because it's
cooking
in fun.
food for the party. But she realizes she has to go to the school because there's a mother-daughter
A conference.
principal conference. Um, Daughter gets her braces off, but then decides to spoil herself with her father's, who's actually her slash husband's credit card. Um, Gets her haircut, gets like her feet done, stuff like that. She gets picked up by friends to
Mhm.
go to the ski thing, the water
It was
ski thing.
almost kind of like she got kidnapped.
Yeah. Um, so then she's like, "Oh no, I have to go to this conference." So she calls her crush slash daughter's friend, whatever,
Boris.
Boris, to come like watch the kid. Um, and the kids end up making an even bigger mess in the kitchen. They're trying to like make a dessert.
Chocolate mousse.
The chicken is burning in the oven.
Turkey.
Oh, the turkey. So they burn the turkey, which makes them having to open the windows. And we all
Wait.
know in a Disney film, when you open a window, that means some animal's going to come in and sneak in and ruin everything. Hence,
Yeah, but
many
they
movies
burned
kill
the
the dogs.
turkey just like they did on the Carousel of Progress.
It's true.
And it was
Did
smoked.
you hear about the Carousel Packers?
No.
Announced at Destination D, they're adding a wall animatronic in the beginning.
No.
They're gonna leave the rest of it. They might update the final scene, but they're adding a wall animatronic like in Disneyland.
Turkey?
I don't know. We'll find out. Um, oh, no, I lost where I was. The butter turkey. All right, so whatever. They're at the water skiing thing. They're prepping for the water ski. The father's all nervous. The daughter doesn't want to do it. He doesn't know why. So he pushes her out there just to do it. Um, but then the mother's like, I gotta get there. I gotta get there. But she doesn't know how to drive because she realizes she's a child. So she has to ask the neighbor boy to drive, but he thinks she is crazy. So um, she ends up having to drive. So it's like her son, who's really her brother, and her daughter's friend, who's really her crush are all in this car, this Volkswagen like convertible. There's a bunch of hijinks and
That's probably left over from Herbie. I didn't find anything in
yeah,
the notes about it, but it probably was.
there's a bunch of hijinks and destruction, like them not knowing how to drive, them being chased by the cops.
It's a scene that looked like the race scene out of Grease.
Yeah, but at the same time, while that's going on, the daughter struggles on the water skis, much to the shock of her father, who's really slash her husband. And then it cuts to like the other people and like they're being chased by the cops. The cops' cars end up like crashing and breaking down. It's a bunch of hijinks. But they're both about to hit like jumps. The water ski's about to hit a jump, and the car's about to hit a jump at the same time. So they both at the same time, right before disaster, they wish to have their bodies back, and it works. But it's the right body, wrong place. So now it's the daughter driving the car and the mother on the water skis. So it works, but not the way they want it to.
Mhm.
The father is completely in shock because he realizes that it's his wife on the water skis now. There is more chaos. The mother is on the water skis. Like I said, she ends up getting and like floating through the air, and the daughter's driving. It's this whole mess. But then the daughter ends up escaping the cops, but then she ends up crashing into the water at the same time that the mother crashes into the water, and they end up meeting in the water, admitting that they actually do love each other. And at the same time, the father and like his all businessmen, they end up sinking somehow, and they're all wet.
Because when she was, the mother was going through, she lost one of her skis, her water skis, and it punctured the float thing of
Okay.
theirs. So it was slowly letting the air out. And at that point, she was just like flipping around on the thing with one water ski.
Mhm.
But that's why I told you, I said it's so hard to believe that nobody realizes
Yeah.
that there's air leaking out because we could hear it, obviously, with it
Yeah.
being filmed. So it's like, why can't they hear it? But okay.
So the men end up sinking, and then they're all wet, and it cuts to the
But
after.
they're all laughing.
Yep, it cuts to the aftermath at home. Everybody's just confused because the mother and daughter aren't saying what happened, and they're just like, everyone's just lost.
Could
But
you imagine though? Nobody's gonna believe you.
no, but everyone's just like the love vibes are high on the family now. Like after that.
Yeah.
But then the little boy and the father start talking about like your life's better than mine, my life's better than yours, blah 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 blah. And they're like, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it. But then the
Mhm.
boys say that they want to spend a day at each other's thing, and then they start to change places as the end of the film. And I'm sure
And then we see Ludicrous Mondays. I'm just kidding.
yeah. So yeah, I mean I'm sure that I cut a bunch of things out because it was a wild film with a wild lot going on, but you get the gist of it. Um,
I had good laughs out of it. I enjoyed it.
that's good.
You didn't seem to enjoy it.
I took my notes.
All right. Well, IMDb gave it a 6.3 out of 10.
Mhm.
I gave it a 7 out
Last
of
week.
10.
Not as good as last week's. I love Jodie Foster. Jodie Foster is currently on my list upon a star, but not this film. But yeah, go ahead. What did you
So,
facts?
some little facts before we get out of it. So, the guy that played Boris, his name
Boris and Natasha.
His name is Mark McClure. He later plays Boris, the parcel delivery man, in the remake of the 2003 version of Freaky Friday.
With Lindsay Lohan
Yeah,
and
so he does make a comeback. Um, he was in a few other things, but I mean, to this film, that was the connection there. And then in this film, Jodie Foster actually has on fake braces, and they were designed in such a way that they would cover the cap between the top plates to front teeth. So somehow they snapped in, and then I guess in some kind of DVD bonus feature, Foster was talking about how the dental bands had a vocal effect on her speech in the movie. But I imagine because like when you had braces, like you had to adjust to like
Mhm.
talking and stuff. So if that's
It's
something
true.
that's not in your mouth all the time, then you're probably having to adjust to it
Mhm.
every time you put it in your mouth. Anyway, I thought that was an interesting tidbit. But
You know how you could tell those bracelets were fake? Because George Lucas would have never had Princess Leia have braces.
he wanted her to be young. They could have been space braces.
It's braces.
All right, so in a 2013 interview, Mary Rogers, who was the original,
She wrote the book.
yeah, she wrote the book for the original source novel, Freaky Friday. In an interviewer told her, "You invented a whole genre," which is what we think about, like we change places and then we can try to go back. But Rogers had corrected her and said that she didn't invent that. Thorne Smith did, as he had written a book called Turnabout that she read when she was in bed with a cold and like when she was a teenager. And it was about a husband who changed bodies with his wife.
Just as convoluted as this.
And the man was furious because all of a sudden he was a woman and pregnant, which he not had not envisioned for himself. And she remembered thinking, that's really funny. So she said, I can't take credit for it, but she did get a few ideas to write a book out of it. So anyway, could you imagine switching places with your wife and all of a sudden you're pregnant? Oh well.
No. So, yeah. So obviously there's some remakes. The one from the early 2000s with Lindsay Lohan and Jimmy
Yeah,
Lee
maybe
Curtis.
there was the one in
I
95.
think I think so. We do have to watch it because it is on
There was,
the
I think
it's
it was
on
on
the
the
list.
Disney Channel, I
Yeah,
think.
it was like a it's like as
They,
we
they kept the
approach
original.
as we approach the 80s, we're gonna do it like we're gonna start adding our Disney Channel original movies in there, and it's one of those. But then that's the one from 2000s with Jamie Lee Curtis and Lindsay Lohan. But either way, I think I just lost my notes, but that's okay. Oh, there they are. Yeah. So, does this make your list upon a star? Does it stick the landing?
It does not.
So then, what is your list upon a star?
My list upon a star is 101 Dalmatians, The Parent Trap, Sleeping Beauty, Dumbo, The Apple Dumpling Gang, The Strongest Man in the World, Napoleon and Samantha, Snowball Express, The Jungle Book, and The Aristocats.
Yeah. So even if this was Freaky Friday, this wouldn't make my list upon a star. So my list upon a star is staying the same as number one, 101 Dalmatians. Number two, Mary Poppins. Number three, Peter Pan. Number four, Robin Hood. Number five, Alice in Wonderland. Number six, Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Number seven, Babes in Toyland. Number eight, The Apple Dumpling Gang. Number nine, the far, far superior Jodie Foster film, Napoleon and Samantha. What a great film. Go back and watch that. And number 10, just like yours, on the chopping block is The Aristocats. But yeah, we've made it.
I mean, in this one, she didn't wear any dresses that were like way too short. So you do have that.
Mm. What was the other film she was in recently that I talked about the Star Wars one?
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. But either way, we've made it through the year 1976.
Yeah.
So we at our next
See
one,
you in 77.
we are moving over to 77. The so we move it up. We'll move over to 1977 for the 129th film, which is another film that probably you've never heard of. You've never heard of because I've never heard of it. It's called The Littlest Horse Thieves. And we've watched a lot of like The Littlest This, The Littlest Outlaws, The Littlest whatever. Now we're watching The Littlest Horse Thieves because Disney loves animals. But yeah, so that'll be our next film number 129 in the year 1977. But again, we are on Instagram if you want to come say hi. We're on Spotify and YouTube if you want to watch and give us that thumbs up, give us that, tell your friends, give us those comments, all the positive stuff. Thank you so much. Um, find a friend, tell them about it. And then if you want to write to us about anything, joining our show, telling us about how this one's better than the other one, whatever. I don't know if we've ever even seen the other one, but deep dive in the magic pod at gmail.com. But we will see you next time for the year 1977.
Thanks for deep diving the magic.
Bye.
Bye.